You're watching BCTV. We're all about Branford. You're watching BCTV, Branford Government Television, a service of Branford Community Television. This program is brought to you in part through the support of the town of Branford.
Good evening. April 10th meeting of the Branford RTM is called to order at 8:02 p.m. We will rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Mr. Toohill, will you call the roll, please?
Yes, I will. Representative Adams.
Here.
Representative Edelman.
Here.
Representative Alfone.
Here.
Representative Amore.
Here.
Representative Anderson.
Here.
Representative Black.
Here.
Representative Bonenberger. Absent.
Yes.
Representative Brooks.
Here.
Representative Dayhill.
Here.
Representative Everson.
Here.
Representative Greenberg. Absent. Representative Hartwell. Absent. Representative Henschel.
Here.
Representative Hines.
Here.
Representative Ingraham.
Here.
Representative Keefe.
Present.
Representative Leach.
Here.
Representative Larson.
Present.
Representative Lafredo.
Here.
Representative Maresca.
Here.
Representative McCall.
Here.
Representative McCormick.
Here.
Representative Newpayne.
Here.
Representative Papalizio.
Here.
Representative Sharkey.
Here.
Representative Shrestha.
Here.
Representative Sumro. Absent. Representative Toohill. Here. Representative Verderam. Absent. Representative Waterman.
Here.
And ex officios, I see we have First Selectman Cosgrove in attendance and Town Clerk Lisa Arpin. And you have a quorum, Madam Moderator.
Thank you, Mr. Toohill. Thank you. Okay, item 3, the minutes of the March 13th meeting were circulated. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes as circulated?
So moved.
A second, please?
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? The minutes are approved.
Thank you.
Item 4, communications. I'm in receipt of one timely communication from, it was addressed to myself as moderator, and since it's brief, I will read it into the record. Dear Madam Moderator, there has been considerable concern among Branford's shoreline neighborhoods about the growing proliferation of short-term residents and residential room rentals. This trend, in fact, has had a substantial impact on many communities along the New England coastline, and this trend has, in some cases, grown into commercial or quasi-commercial enterprises with devastating effects on local housing availability. Understanding that there may be significant differences between resident homeowners with a spare room who wish to make it available through Airbnb-type applications and non-resident homeowners who are making a business out of continual short-term rentals of their premises, I would like to ask the RTM to consider creating reasonable restrictions on short-term rentals in Branford through a town ordinance. I, like many like-minded residents of town, would be happy to voice our concerns in more detail at the appropriate time. Thank you for considering this request. Sincerely, Daniel A. Bullard. This request will be referred to the Rules and Ordinances Committee for them to take up at their earliest available time. Mr. Black.
Thank you. Through you to the full RTM. For those, you probably want to Google Local Law 18 in New York City. I think that's a good starting jumping off point for us in addressing this issue. whether we want to make it less restrictive or more restrictive than local law 18. But New York City's had this problem and addressed it through a local law. Thank you.
Thank you for the information. Okay, so we'll move on to item 5, to consider and approve an amendment to the Stony Creek Museum lease to allow the Stony Creek Museum to occupy additional space downstairs in the museum. This was heard by Admin Services, and Representative Edelman, would you give your report?
Certainly. Thank you, Madam Moderator. This matter was heard by Admin Services on April 2nd of this year. This amendment to the museum's lease will allow the museum to occupy additional space in the downstairs area of the building they occupy. It extends the lease to 2043 and allows for the possibility of 2 extensions thereafter. Representative Toohill informed the committee regarding the Board of Selectmen approval of this amendment. First, Selectman Cosgrove provided some history of the museum and the space and some history about the current lease. Motion passed by the committee unanimously by a 7-0 vote. I will put that in the form of a motion.
Thank you very much. Is there any discussion on this matter? Members of the RTM? Okay. Any discussion from members of the public or questions? Okay. Then, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? The motion carries, Mr. Toohill. Okay, thank you. All right, item 6. To consider and, if appropriate, approve a request from the Director of Human Resources for the following fiscal 24 transfer request. General fund transfer for Parks, Recreation, and Custodian Agreement from contingency, $62,757, to wages and salaries, $4,783. Wages and salaries, the first item, I'm sorry, was for general government buildings. Second item, wages and salaries for recreation, $30,120. Overtime for general government buildings, $2,170. Overtime for recreation, $1,538. Retroactive wages for general government buildings, $3,251. Retroactive wages for recreation, $20,895, for an equivalent amount of $62,757. This was not heard in committee as it was received after Ways and Means had already been rescheduled. So we are going to take this up on the floor. In order to do that, we have to suspend Rule 441. Do I have a motion to suspend Rule 441?
Madam Moderator, through you, I make a motion to suspend Rule 441.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Representative Black, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, the motion carries. Representative Brooks is filling in for Representative Hartwell, will present.
I could never fill in for anybody, but as my understanding, and correct me anybody if I'm wrong, but these are transfers to fulfill the contractual obligations. As you know, we approved the the contract, and so this is just to backfill those wages. So I make a motion that we approve these transfers.
Second.
Second, okay. Any questions or concerns to be brought by members of the RTM? Okay, anywhere? Nothing? Okay, all in favor of the approving this transfer, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The motion carries. Okay. We will move on again now to item 7. Similarly, was not heard by Ways and Means for the same reason. So I will read it. To consider and, if appropriate, approve a request from the probate court for the following fiscal 24 transfer request. From contingency, $6,000, to technology acquisitions in equivalent amount, $6,000. Again, we will need a vote to suspend Rule 441, so we can just take this up now.
Again, Madam Moderator, through you, I make a motion to waive Rule 441.
Okay. I need a second for this?
I'll second.
Okay. Tino? Okay, we have a second. All in favor? Aye. Okay. Mr. Brooks, will you state the obvious?
This is a transfer from contingency to another line item, technology acquisitions for a copier for the probate court. I'm not against copier, so I move that we approve this, and I put that in the form of a motion.
Okay, we have, we need a second now because this is on, second, okay, thank you. Okay, any discussion or questions? Okay, then we will call for a voice vote. All in favor? Say aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? The motion carries. Thank you very much. Okay, item 8, to consider an appropriate, approve an amendment to the Town Code, RTM Rules Committee C, Rule 4.3.4, Committee Responsibilities, and E, Rules 4.5.1 and 4.5.2, Committee Reports, to clarify and coordinate longstanding references to reports and more recent requirements for meeting minutes. This was heard by Rules and Ordinances. Representative Henschel, will you give the report?
Thank you, Madam Moderator. Rules and Ordinance met on March 19th. Present were Representative Bonenberger, Dayhill, Black, Anderson, and myself, Representative Henschel. We discussed this matter. We had discussed this matter in a previous meeting, come up with some edits to the proposed amendment, which Representative Black had proposed. Those were discussed in our meeting, and those are the ones that are attached to your agenda for tonight. This was sent to Attorney Aniskovich for review, and he did not have any recommended changes, so I would put that in the form of a motion to approve.
Did you hold a vote in committee?
Oh, thank you. We did vote on this. All present voted in favor of it, no abstentions,
Okay, and that's in the form of a motion.
and that's in the form of a motion.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
Representative Black.
Thank you. I obviously also support this. I would like to say it was a very collaborative process in drafting the language that Representative Henschel came up with a proposal. I had some concerns with it, put a proposal. He made a couple of edits to mine, and then collectively in the meeting, we made a couple of edits to that. So this is truly a committee product. Hopefully that's a good thing, and I think it is. So I'd like to thank everyone on the committee for their participation with this. Thank you.
You're welcome. That's great. Okay. Any other comments or questions about this collaborative miracle? Okay. Then we will take up a vote. This will be a voice vote. All in favor of approving the amendment
I
as...
believe, because it's a rule of the RTM,
Oh.
we have to do a roll call.
Sorry, we need a roll call. Mr. Tuchel. Okay. Thank you.
Representative Adams.
Aye.
Representative Edelman.
Yes.
Representative Alphone.
Yes.
Representative Anderson.
Yes.
Representative Black.
Yes.
Representative Brooks.
Yeah.
Representative Dayhill.
Yes.
Representative Everson.
Yes.
Representative Henschel.
Yes.
Representative Hines.
Yeah.
Representative Ingraham.
Yes.
Representative Keefe.
Aye.
Representative Leach.
Yes.
Representative Larson.
Yes.
Representative Lafredo.
Yes.
Representative Maresca.
Yes.
Representative McCall.
Yes.
Representative McCormick.
Yes.
Representative Newpayne.
Yes.
Representative Papalizio.
Yes.
Representative Sharkey.
Yes.
Representative Shrestha.
Yes.
Representative Toohill, yes. Representative Waterman.
Yes.
It passes unanimous.
Passed unanimously. Thank you very much,
You're
ladies and gentlemen. Okay. All right, item 9, to consider and if appropriate, approve the establishment of a Harbor Management Commission pursuant to Connecticut General Statutes 22A to -113K. This was referred to Rules and Ordinances, who I believe took it up in committee. Mr. Henschel, will you give the report?
Thank you, Madam Moderator. Again, Rules and Ordinance met on March 19th regarding this request. The request originated with the First Selectman's Office. In consideration of developing this ordinance, it was determined that this is a relatively complex ordinance with a lot of moving parts and requiring pretty careful crafting and some research. So the committee established a working group that Representative Hines, Representative Edelman, and myself to do the preliminary research, report back to Rules and Ordinance. That committee has, in fact, that subgroup has had one start meeting and will report in the following R&O meeting as to our progress. The committee, in discussing this, voted to re-refer the motion, or the item, and that was by unanimous vote of all present.
Okay. And
So I put that in the form of a motion.
thank you very much. Okay, so the vote was to re-refer this back to Rules and Ordinances. Any discussion on that motion? Any questions? Okay, then I think we can have a voice vote on this. All in favor of re-referral of the item to Rules and Ordinances, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, the motion carries if the item's re-referred. Okay, item 10, to consider and, if appropriate, approve the following requests from the Finance Director for capital transfers for fiscal '24. From Fund 720 Municipal Facilities Fund, from the Building Improvements for Police is $79,000 to the transfer out, Fund 700, $79,000. And then Fund 700 Capital Fund Appropriation increase, transfer in from Fund 720, $79,000, and an increase for the EV charging stations for $50,000, and a UPS for the fire department for $29,000 for an equivalent amount of $79,000. And then from Fund 700 from the Capital Fund for police veneer repairs, $2,500, Orchard House roof replacement, $1,180, Volunteer Center MUA, not sure what that is, $3,250, police carpet replacement, $6,411, building improvements to HVAC, $306, police power wash and paint, $17,000, police department UPS, $27,877 for an amount of $58,524, to UPS Fire Department for an equivalent amount of $58,524. And then I think this is all one. So Fund 101 General Fund contingency for $30,000 to fund technology acquisitions for copiers, $30,000. This, again, was not heard by Ways and Means, as it was received after Ways and Means was not meeting. So we will vote to suspend Rule 441 to hear this on the floor.
Through
Mr.
you,
Brooks?
Madam Moderator, I will make a motion to waive Rule 441.
Okay. A second, please.
Second.
Mr. Henschel, thank you. All in favor of waiving Rule 441 to hear the item?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, we will take this up. Mr. Brooks?
So I'll start with the last part of it, which is the easiest, sort of the contingency to technology acquisitions. Those are for 4 different copiers, one for Willoughby Wallace Library, the land use copier, the dispatch copier, and a records copier. That's a lot of copiers, but that's why it's $30,000. Then if we go into the other ones, that's taking money that was planned to go towards the police department at the beginning of the fiscal year, and somebody's going to correct me if I'm wrong, through you, Madam Moderator. Feel free, First Selectman Cosgrove. And it's going to go into EV charging stations for $50,000, and then a UPS device, which is an uninterrupted power Source.
Supply.
Nailed it. Here at the fire department, which is a plan that the GGB has had for some time, and so we're just going to take care of that now. And I put that in the form of a motion, to approve in the form of a motion. Something's getting motioned.
This one needs a motion and a second. Okay, thank you, Representative Ingraham. Okay, any questions or concerns on this matter? Yes?
Yes, Madam Moderator. Just had a quick question. What's the MUA?
Say that again.
The Volunteer Center MUA?
Makeup artist? No, it's, I believe it's mutual understanding agreement or
Oh,
something.
okay.
It's,
I just want clarification. That's
yeah,
Okay.
it's,
Thank you.
mechanical, makeup air. Okay.
Okay.
It's a capital project.
Very good. Okay, any other questions? Thank you, that was a good one. Any other questions or clarifications? Okay, before we vote? Okay, we have a motion to approve these transfers. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? No. Okay, the motion carries for the transfers. Okay, item 11 is mostly an announcement for the benefit of the public. As we all know, we may know, the Board of Finance met and approved preliminarily a budget which carries a 2.5% increase over last year, which would result right now in a mill rate of 30.66. So these changes and recommendations will be taken up in depth in the RTM Budget Committee meetings, and so I'm going to announce those dates for the public record. Ways and Means will be meeting on April 24th at 7 o'clock. I believe all of these will be at the Community House. So Ways and Means, which takes up, will be taken up April 24th at 7. Education Committee, which will be taking up the Board of Ed budget and various other budgets, will be on May 6th at 7 p.m., correct? Representative Keefe? At 7? Yes, okay. Rules and Ordinances will be meeting at April 16th, also at the Community House at 7 p.m. Public Services will be meeting April 18th at 7 p.m. And we'll also have a follow-up meeting that is yet to be published on April 30th, and it will be at 7 p.m. Administrative Services will meet in its regular meeting May 7th at 7 p.m., and any cleanup around budget items might be taken up. They did hear their budget department presentations already. So we encourage the public to attend these committee meetings and participate and watch the process be carried out. Representative Keefe.
oh, sorry.
Madam Moderator, excuse me, could you repeat the proposed tax increase?
Yes, 2.5%, which would be resulting in an approximate mill rate of 30.66 at this point.
Madam Moderator, through you to the First Selectman, could you clarify approximately how much is in the reserve fund? Approximately.
40 million.
Thank you.
$40 million. Okay, everybody here? Okay, thank you. Okay, any questions on those meeting dates? None? Okay, thank you. So our next item would be any other business to be brought before the RTM? Oh, Representative Cosgrove. Representative Cosgrove. First Selectman Cosgrove.
Just quickly, I know the moderator received a letter from the finance director regarding the Neighborhood Assistance Act. I know you plan on reading it next month's meeting. However, although there's not, may meet the timetable for this body to act, I just think it's important to get the word out there. So we just want the representatives to know and the public to know that once again, the Branford has elected to participate in the Neighborhood Assistance Act. That is a program which allows municipal and nonprofit tax-exempt organizations to essentially raise funds or receive contributions from businesses. In exchange, those businesses then receive a tax credit for their contributions. And the amount of that tax credit is really based on the use of what those dollars will be going to in supporting the municipal or tax exempt organization. If you'd like further information, feel free to contact my office, or the finance director is the agent that is representing the town of Branford. But it is, I know there's a number of organizations historically that have applied and utilized this funding source to raise money. We have to transmit to the state of Connecticut by July 1 those that will be participating in the programs that are participating in the program. Therefore, we're asking, the deadline will be by May 31st for any nonprofit or municipal organizations to notify the town, fill out the application that they will be participating in the Neighborhood Assistance Act. So, thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Black.
Thank you, Madam Moderator. Through you to the First Selectman. Is this something, do we separately approve the participation, and would it be helpful for us to approve that tonight? I mean, this should be very non-controversial. We're just approving the town's participation in a program that allows nonprofits, which we will later vote on the particular nonprofits, to get state tax credits. So there's no town tax dollars involved. We've participated in this every year that I've been here. So I would make a motion that we add it to the agenda tonight to approve the town's participation in the Neighborhood Tax Assistance Program. Thank you.
I'll second that.
I know I'm not supposed to debate, but since this is procedure, in speaking with Mr. Finch today, he wanted, particularly the new members, to have more information about the program. So when we spoke, he was going to make sure that the newest members got more information so they would understand what we were participating in. So that was the thinking behind holding on and bringing it up between now and the next meeting.
Madam Moderator, there's a motion on the floor. It requires a 2/3 vote to add it to the agenda. I suggest we vote on that.
Sure.
If people feel that they need more information on this, I just always want to move the town's business. This should be non-controversial. Thank you.
Representative Waterman.
Yeah, so, I'd just like to comment, I agree with Madam Moderator that, I mean, this is new for us, for the people that are new. It would be good to understand what the program is and what's involved, so it'd be nice to have a little bit more time to get information before voting on it, because this kind of came up at the last minute and it's still kind of confusing.
Representative Keefe.
May I make a motion for a brief recess?
Yes, we will, we need to vote on a recess, right? Yes. We have a motion for a recess. We have a second? Okay.
We don't have to vote on a recess. We just call it recess.
Okay, well, we're calling a recess then. Okay. 5-minute recess. Thank you.
We're back. The meeting is back.
Okay, we're coming back to order. Okay, let's reestablish where we were. We had a motion to add it to the agenda tonight. We have a second by Representative Ingraham. We need to vote to add that to the agenda, and that needs to be a 2/3 vote. Is that right, Mr. Henschel?
Could we get a clarification as to what it is we're adding to the agenda?
Very good. Let me find correspondence. Sorry, I put it away, thinking we weren't going to be taking it up. Okay, the correspondence, I will now read the correspondence. Please be advised that the town will be participating in the Neighborhood Assistance Tax Credit Program. As you may recall, this program is designed to facilitate funding for municipal and tax-exempt organizations by providing corporations a tax credit when making contributions to these entities. The program has several statutory limits, including the following. A business is limited to receiving $150,000 in tax credit annually. A nonprofit organization is limited to receiving $150,000 in aggregate contributions. The minimum contribution on which credit can be granted is $250. The program has a $5 million cap, which, if exceeded, results in proration of approved donations. As there are no local taxpayer dollars required, the RTM has historically approved all of the applications. In order for programs to be eligible, they must be approved by the RTM and forwarded to the state by July 1st. In an effort to comply with this timetable, I will request that applications be received on or before May 31st. Therefore, I respectfully request that this item be referred to the appropriate RTM committee in June. That was the request from Finance Director Finch. So we will vote on the motion to add this to the agenda tonight.
So, Madam Moderator, just to clarify what the motion is that we are voting on, I believe Representative Black has a
Thank you,
suggestion.
Madam Moderator. The motion would be just to approve the town's participation in the Neighborhood Assistance Tax Credit Program. That makes it official that nonprofits can submit applications, and they've got a deadline now, but it's a two-step process where first we approve the town's participation, then nonprofits such as the Fife and Drum Corps has historically put in for it, Hospice has put in for it, and other nonprofits put in for it.
Representative Black, could you state the motion?
The motion is
Since there is no motion
that the town of
suggested.
Branford will participate in the Neighborhood Assistance Tax Credit Program, period.
Period, okay,
That's the motion.
thank you. Representative Henschel.
Yes, Madam Moderator. I believe we first have to add this to the agenda, and then we first have to vote to add this to the agenda.
That's correct.
Then we vote on your motion.
All right, back.
Taking the two votes here.
We're going to back up and take the vote on adding it to the agenda. This is a roll call vote where we need a 2/3 majority, correct? Okay, well, we have to have a count, so we know. Okay. All right, let's do a show of hands then. All in favor of adding this item to the agenda, please raise your hand.
This passes.
Okay. It looks almost unanimous. So.
Yeah.
Okay, the item to add it to the agenda it passes. Now, Representative Black, will you restate the motion, please?
Might ask for the nays for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
The
are there any
nays and
nays?
the
I'm sorry.
abstentions.
One
Any-
nay? Okay, so the vote will be 24-1.
No?
I
Any,
just wanted to
Any abstentions?
explain my vote as saying voting no, not against the program, but just against bring it up now. I kind of would support the opportunity to understand this, investigate more, and support Mr. Finch's request, which was to bring it to RTM committees in June.
Thank you. Okay, are there any abstentions?
Okay, so the vote was 23-1.
Yes. Okay, Mr. Black, will you restate the motion one more time?
Thank you. The motion would be to approve the town of Branford's participation in the Neighborhood Assistance Tax Credit Program.
Okay,
And that, we have not heard it in committee, so before hearing that, I would also make a motion that we waive Rule 4.41. Again, this is still relatively early in the night, so we can take this off our budget night meeting.
Yeah.
Thank you.
okay. We have a second for the motion or for the suspension of
waive
441?
441.
Okay. All right, so
So which committee would have heard this?
which, that's good. Admin Services, probably? I think we've heard this before in Admin Services, would have heard this.
Yes.
So, okay, so we are going to,
Would, Madam Moderator, a point of information. I believe the first selectman has explained the program, and the applications will be made available at Town Hall.
If they need, oftentimes those.
Do you want to come to the microphone, just so if people watching do want to participate, they'll be aware that there's a deadline involved in an application process?
Yeah, so there's an application that they'll fill out, and they can either contact Town Hall, or they can get it from, it's on the state of Connecticut, through the state of Connecticut website. And the deadline, as we said, for applications would be May 31st.
Thank you. Given that an
So,
RTM committee
feel
doesn't
free
have
to
that
share.
information.
Share through any posts.
okay, I'm lost. Where are we? 441, okay, we have a motion, we have a second. Okay.
Yep.
All in favor of waiving Rule 4.4.1 to take this up tonight on the floor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any nays?
Nay.
Nay? Okay, any abstentions? Okay, the rule is waived, and we will discuss, perhaps. Any discussion, any additional questions at this point? All right, any information? Yes, Representative Brooks.
No pointing.
Did you make a motion that or you just made a motion to waive Rule 441? And if you did make a motion, did you get a second? Because you didn't get a second.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
So we got a second.
Representative
So
Ingraham.
yes,
that's it.
he did, yes.
And just so everyone's aware that we're just making a vote to participate, to allow the town to participate. We will then have a presentation of who those participants are and have a chance to vote for or against those participants.
Thank you, Representative Brooks. Yes, Representative Ingraham.
I urge every member to get out to your constituents about the program, to apply. We generally don't have as many nonprofits jumping on, being able to have at least, some monies come in because of this. So it's usually only 3 or 4. We're expected to be more. I know one year we used it for the community house playground. That's what I was looking for. Thank you.
Question?
Representative Toohill?
Thank you, Madam Moderator. So right now before us, we have a motion on the floor. It was moved by Representative Black. Who seconded, please? Representative Ingraham?
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so the motion is to, please restate so we can vote. Representative Black, will you please restate? Just,
Motion is to approve the town of Branford's participation in the Neighborhood Assistance Tax Credit Program.
Thank you, and we have a second. So we, having exhausted all comments, let's take a vote. All in favor, say aye, please. Aye. Any nays, any noes? Any abstentions? And an abstention, okay. Motion carries. Thank you.
Unanimous. You're welcome.
Unanimous, almost unanimous. We have an abstention.
I'm sorry, who
Representative
abstained?
Waterman.
Oh, you abstained? Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other business?
Motion to adjourn?
Okay. Second, okay. The meeting is adjourned at 8:48 PM. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Safe going home.
This program was brought to you in part through the support of the Town of Branford. Watch town meetings and other videos on demand at BranfordTV.org.